I really want to just talk to you about this piece. His name is Tumar. That's what I found out after we had some time to sit and meditate together or talk. Well, really, the first thing he said was, as he was starting to come out of the clay, was, "It's really nice to be here." You know, he seemed genuinely happy to be here. Absolutely knew why he was here. For the purpose of this 2012 documentary and the conversations that we're having about it with just everybody and your average people. The first thing he started to say was like, because I'm curious, where do you come from? Who are you? Well, I come from the Pleiades, a star cluster out there in the universe. Okay. Tell me what's this about the 2012? What about the Mayan calendar? What do you know about that? He said, well, we know a lot about that. See, my people, he says, my people came from the stars to the planet, like little star seeds that were sort of fallen down onto the earth. We are light beings, like stars. They're energy, light. And he started to explain to me that this is what they were so excited about, that this planet seemed to be a place that they could learn, like a schoolhouse. And we want to experience this physicalness on this planet. Okay. So let's talk about Atlantis. This seems to be a curiosity about 2012. Let me talk to you about that. Yes, I know about Atlantis. What about Lemuria? We were scattered throughout this. Now, here's these very intelligent star beings. And in Lemuria, they seem to work with crystals. The crystal bowls. Not crystal bowls, just crystals. They loved the manifestation of their light coming through the crystals. So they would grow, they would hold information. And so the star beings like to work with the crystals in Lemuria. Atlantis, he says to me, they really sort of worked more with sound and light. And that this was part of what some people might say is the explosive part, where they blew themselves up or something, I don't know. He says that because they worked with sound, much like when you would sing in a high note and break the glass. He said these are the kind of things that happened. This was a new planet for them. Remember, they're star beings, he says. He says, remember, we're star beings. We've come here. We're learning your planet. So sometimes we would push it too far and things would go a little wacky. So it wasn't so much that we were fighting amongst ourselves, but we would just break things by accident. It wasn't so much that we were fighting. We were learning. So when we traveled from Atlantis to the Mayan South American culture, which you people call the Mayans, he said that they understood the stars. We come from the stars. So, so we were also sharing knowledge and learning. So it was a win-win. We want to give and we want to learn. So came down here and shared this calendar of astrology. The Mayan calendar 2012. The astrology, that pretty much the way the galaxy works, the way asteroids fly around, the way the planets move, the way millions of years have passed, and you see, through your historians how the decades work, that the calendar was pretty much set up that way, that it was just the way our planet worked. The way the sun worked. Being a big star, they understood that. So it was easy for them to calculate the calendar, the 2012, and the date of the end of the calendar. He says to me, and I ask him, what about 2012? Is it going to happen? is this going to happen? Are we going to blow up? Is it true that the water will come and this and that and the paradigm shift? He says, you know, is that really what's important? What I really want to say is that at this time in our education, you know, what are we here to learn? He says, I really want to stress that it doesn't matter what happens to the planet as far as your education goes and your evolution goes. That's more about the planet. The planet has the opportunity, yes, to not shift. Why? Because if we shift first, the planet doesn't have to. He was very clear about that. So global warming and all of this, is it too late? We don't know. He says the humans this planet is very surprising. There is going to be a shift. It's just what kind of a shift? Is it going to be a planetary shift, or is it going to be a shift in you? And each individual can shift differently, you know? So it's up to you where you go. It's not up to everybody else where we go. It's up to you where you go. So do you have compassion? Where's your vibration? You see, where's the compassion vibration is here. He keeps trying to tell me it's not so much the little words we try to use. Everybody has a vibration. Where are you going to vibrate? And the problem seems to be for us is fear as humans. He says that you're afraid. You're afraid that you're going to lose the planet's going to blow up. You're afraid economically. You're afraid about dying. You have so many fears that keeps you in a low vibration. That when you can break away from these kinds of fears. And the only way to break away is by learning more about who you are and in the present moment and how powerful you are in your vibration. Where you're vibrating at is where your center is. What really matters is your eternal self. And so, you know, let me talk about that. He says, let me really try to say to the world. You mean you brought me here to talk? I want to say, I want to encourage every individual to get out there and look inside themselves. And then look outside, do some research, but then go back inside and see how does that vibrate for you? How does that, when it hits you, when you're looking at something, how does it feel for you? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? I want to encourage people to feel their own vibrations. And if they're not sure how to do that, get out there and learn. There sure are plenty of teachers, and you have time. You have from now until December 21st, 2012, to go to school. So get out there and learn. And that's the part I love about shamanism and art, is that you can create something that takes you inside and ask yourself, make your own clay face, make your own shaman inspirational doll, sit and meditate, you know, close your eyes and see who comes to talk to you. I think they call that schizophrenia, though. So you see what I mean. So I'm going to enjoy my life, really enjoy it, really relax, really just stop being afraid of the unknown. Embrace it and say, you know, I know who I am and where I'm going, and no matter what happens, there I am, you know. What are you going to do?